Well, we briefly touched upon the Seoul-Tokyo agreement on the so-called comfort women earlier in the broadcast. And every Wednesday since 1992, victims of Japan's wartime sex slavery have been holding protests in front of the Japanese embassy right here in Seoul. Well, today, 6 of the elderly surviving victims held a press conference to announce their stance on that landmark agreement reached by Seoul and Tokyo in December. Here's Soo-eun with more.
6 elderly survivors of Japan's wartime sexual slavery stood united to, quote, absolutely reject the settlement reached between Korea and Japan last December. The women, together with 2 civic groups that have long supported them, the Korean Council for the Women Drafted for Military Sexual Slavery by Japan and the House of Sharing, spoke at a press conference Wednesday during the weekly protest gathering that's been held in front of the Japanese embassy in Seoul for the last 24 years. There, the survivors said they refused to accept the money pledged by Tokyo for Seoul to create a foundation for their benefit.
It doesn't matter how many times the 2 governments met. What's important is that the survivors' opinions were not included in the negotiation process, nor were they asked for their agreement. Civic groups will form an alliance to help the survivors fight through lawsuits against Tokyo and build more of the symbolic comfort women statues in Korea and the U.S.
Last December, Seoul and Tokyo reached a settlement on the wartime sexual slavery issue that they would end the dispute once and for all if Japan apologizes to the victims and fulfills its pledge to provide them with 1 billion yen, or $8.3 million in compensation. The settlement has been the object of widespread criticism in Korea, with the victims and supporting civic groups rejecting it repeatedly. Around 800 activists, politicians, and others were present in support of the survivors at the press conference on Wednesday. Soo-eun, Arirang News.